Welcome to our tutorial on creating digital escape rooms to boost student engagement. So one of the reasons we decided to do this was obviously because we have changed to virtual learning of late, and also based on the research surrounding game-based learning and the fact that it increases engagement, um, people voluntarily work harder within the classroom if it's a game, and the fact that our students just need something to change it up a little bit. They might be sick of just logging in, answering the questions, submitting, and going home. Whereas this way, they have to work their way around the game in order to complete the assignment. So first off, what are digital escape rooms? Well, quite simply, they're just like the escape rooms that you would go to um, live. So you have to collect a series of clues, open a series of locks, and basically you're just working on different skills and different ways of thinking. So the only thing that your students need is connection to the internet and a laptop. While they will work on phones, it won't work great. Now, VR headsets make this way more fun, but they are not a necessity. So digital escape rooms are going through a series of clues to open a series of locks. All right, so the point of today's presentation is to give you an understanding of the place of digital escape rooms in the classroom, and hopefully you'll get that understanding from the examples that we show you, and you can see all the different applications that are used in order to enhance student engagements. I want to give you some practical skills, as in showing you different ways to create the clues, etc. And then for us to show you examples of the different types of applications that you can use in order to either create a 360 image or to put into the escape room the things that you already use within your daily classrooms. So before we begin showing you guys how to set up your own escape rooms, we thought that we'd show you one or two of the ones we've created. So we were looking at The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe in English. So we decided to create our escape room. So once you go onto the site here, you'll see our escape room available. And you might be able to hear that heartbeat. You can turn that off if you want. So I'm going to turn it off for now and just show you around the escape room. So all of these different numbers and icons all relate to a different clue. So the students need to work their way through the escape room. So it's fully virtual. They don't have to have a virtual reality headset, but it does make it an awful lot more fun. So all of these, as I said, are different clues, and then they click here to fill in their answers. So that's just one of the ones we did. Now, what we did here was we set this up through Google Sites. So you just go to set up a site and you can put the rules of the escape room on here, and then you can embed the Thinglink or the escape room directly into it. So I will show you how to do that later. We added some more clues here, so like Morse code. So when they go into the escape room, there is a clue, I think it's this one, where they have to look at the clue, and you can see that there's random punctuation in red. So this is one of the things that they have to fill out. So we've given them a hint here saying, Morse code might help. So here we gave them the Morse code alphabet. That's just one of the clues that you can use. We also embedded the form itself onto Google Slides. And the reason for that is because within the escape room itself, every time they open the form, they will lose their answers. So it's easier for them just to have it available on the site itself. So within your site, then you can also make sure that you maybe give a story to get them involved. So for this was just a short one, and we said to them that they had to help their English teacher escape. And they went into this library here and they had to figure out the clues. And again, the form is there. So again, we have a clue up here. It's fully 360, okay? And this just makes it a little bit more interactive when they're using virtual reality. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to decide on the objectives of the lesson. So what content do you want the students to get and what skills do you want them to work on throughout the lesson? So what you'll do is you'll set up a Google form and begin thinking about your clues. So our first clue here is pay attention to the bold letters. All must be in capitals. Write the answer to your first clue here. So when the students click on the play button, they'll be brought to a text and they have to look at the bold letters to come up with the question. So they're actually looking for the answer to the question for the escape room, but they don't actually know what the question is yet. So once they go through this here, it'll come up with what was the name of the paper in which a certain text was published. So now they know the question, they'll click here and they'll be told that they have to find the name of the paper. They'll click on this button here and it will take them to a biography page. And within this biography page, they'll have to read through in order to find the answer to the question. Once they do that, they'll go back to their site, their Google site, and answer the question here. So once you've figured out all of your different clues and the objectives of your lesson, then you need to put them into questions. I would always use short answer questions and then make sure you're using response validation, because that way then you get to decide exactly what the answer should be. So you have to give clear instructions here. Do you want it to be all capitals? Is it a number, etc. So if it's a number, you can say that it's equal to, and then they have to give the correct answer. If it's a text, you can put in the exact answer here, but make sure in the question that you give them clear instructions. So just like this, pay attention to the bold letters. Answers must be in all capitals and contain no spaces. It's easiest to contain no spaces. So that's how you will make your form and begin coming up with your clues. So the second thing you want to do is get involved in Thinglink. Now, Thinglink to me is, in my opinion, the best thing since sliced bread. So my colleague Fatima introduced me to Thinglink earlier on this year before we started virtual learning, and then she really got into it once we went online. And since she introduced me to it and showed me how to use it, it's become an absolutely invaluable tool for me. So we use this not only for escape rooms, but we use it for our schedules too. So if you want to just take a look here, you can see that for everything the kids need for the week, we add to it. So we started at the beginning of the week and we put more links and assignments on there as the week goes by, as we begin to get the feel of what the kids are able to do and what they can't do. So every day they can come in here and they can check in. So with Thinglink then, basically what you're doing is you are just adding tags, okay? So if you can take any image, whether it's a regular image or a 360 image, and you add tags to it. So for example, if I'm to open, say, a schedule, and I'm going to edit that schedule, what I'll do then is I come over here and I click add tag. Now, in this tag here, the first thing I do is I decide pretty much what I want it to be. So if you use this tag, it will take you to an outside website. You can't embed directly with this tag. So for example, with me, I always want my students to check in with me at the beginning of every lesson. So whatever time their scheduled lesson is. So what I would generally do is I would go to Hangouts. My kids check in with me here every day. And all I do is I put that in as the button URL and I put in a text and I just say, come say hi. Now my students know that once they click on that button, it will take them directly to me. So you can use this for anything. You could use it to bring them directly to a website that they need to read an article, or to Google Classroom where they need to look at an assignment. What Thinglink does is it gives you the option to put everything in one place. And we feel that the less tabs they have open, the easier it is for them to stay focused. Another type of tag you can use is a text label. So anything you want to say or any announcement you want to make, you just add that. So these are the basic icons that you get with Thinglink. Now there are programs where you can find different icons, and as you can see I have quite a lot here. So I use this one a lot to tell them to wash their hands. So you could just put in a tag, have you washed your hands today? And then sometimes they'll say to you, do I have to check in by saying I've washed my hands? So you put that in, and then once they click on it, it'll pop up just like that. The next tag you can do is to add content directly from a website. So if you have a YouTube channel, or if you're using Edpuzzle, quizzes, a lot of the sites, they actually have an embed code. So I will be showing you that a little bit later on. And then what that means is that it pops up straight away on this. It doesn't take them out of the Thinglink. So if you want, you can see just from the one we did together, we can show you how we embedded certain things. So within our Thinglink here, you'll see that we embedded a YouTube video. It didn't actually take them out of the room at all. So your main goal is to keep them within the room. So if we move around here, I think it was clue 3, it brought them directly into the YouTube video that they needed. So those are the 3 main tags that you use with Thinglink. This one here is where you can create a tour into another Thinglink. So for example, if I select any scene that I have here, so this is a writing room that I have, and I'm going to add that in there. I might change the icon to say a little writing icon, put that in there, click done, and when the students click on that, it's going to take them to a completely different Thinglink. Okay, so this is a 360 image. So as I've said with Thinglink, it doesn't have to be a 360 image, but if you want it to be VR, you are going to need a 360 image, and I'm going to show you that next. So as you saw with our escape room, it was 360 degrees. Now it doesn't have to be, but Thinglink does provide a lot of really cool 360 images. So you just hit the search bar and you go in here and you look for the 360 image that you'll like. So it could be something like a sunset, depending on what your lesson is. Okay, so as you can see, you can move all the way around that here. Now, if Thinglink is not providing you with something that's suitable for your lesson, and if you want to bring the students somewhere else in the world, you can always use Google Maps. So what you have to do is you open up wherever it is you want the students to go. So I'm using the Museum of Modern Art here, and I take this little guy from Google and I drag him and I drop him. So as you can see, I've dropped him into the Museum of Modern Art. And you can create your escape room through there. Now, some of the images might have people in them, etc., but you will generally find images that you need. So once you've gotten where you want your students to go by dropping in the little guy like this, you must take the URL from the top, okay, and you open up a program called iStreetView.com. Now, iStreetView doesn't have a search bar, so what you have to do is you have to load in the URL that you copied from Google. So you just copy and paste it here, click load, and you can see that the image that I was looking at comes up here. The next thing you have to do then is you have to take this little link, so you click on this and it says copied. Then you have to install a program, and it's called Street View Download 360, and it looks something like this. Okay, you decide where you want to save it. So the name of that again is 360 Download. and it's a little guy standing on a green circle as the icon. So I'm going to save this to my desktop as Museum of Modern Art. Save. Then I put in the panorama ID. So this link that I copied here, I put that into the app and click download. So that's downloaded for me now, and you can see here it is here. So what I have to do is I got to go back to my Thinglink, back to my own page on Thinglink, and I will just upload the image from my desktop. So once I open my Thinglink, I go to Create, Upload 360 Image, and it'll ask me where to get that from. So I save that as the Museum of Modern Art, and that's uploading. And there we go. So we can start adding all the different tags we talked about earlier. So once you've decided on your clues and you've gotten your image, then it's time to start adding your tags. All right, so adding tags is where the fun part comes in. Now, just before we start, what I'd like to draw your attention to is you can see that we have this Thinglink here on the edge of the image. We don't want that, so we're going to go into tag settings, and we're just going to hide that logo. Otherwise, it distracts the students and they click on it and they end up being brought to Thinglink. So this is a 360 image of a classroom, just a general classroom that I found online, and I thought we'd use it today as an example. So what I'm going to show you are a couple of the tools that you might already use in class and how to embed them into your Thinglink. So as I said before, using Google Hangouts or any button or any website outside of Thinglink that you don't mind the students leaving the tab for, you add it in here. So I want to show you how to add content from a website. All right, so a lot of us, we like to use Google Slides for presentations, and this is a presentation that I made earlier this week. So all you're going to do in order to get this into your Thinglink is make your presentation as normal, but you can't take the URL from the top. So what you have to do is you have to publish it to the web. So once you click on that, you want to get the embed code. Okay, so play with your settings here, whatever you want to do with it. And you just click publish. Click OK. And this is the code that you want, the long code. So you copy the code and you go back to your Thinglink and you put the code in here. So there we go. I don't have any clues within this slide yet. The clues will be totally up to you. But again, it could be using something like they have to figure out bold letters, Morse code, anything like that. Then you choose your icon, and so whatever icon you want, and you say done. So you can see, then I'm going to put this little brain over here. So in your settings, you can say put on tag animation, and it will highlight the tags as the students go into it. Another program that we all use quite a lot is Edpuzzle. So if I go into my Edpuzzle content and I want to add my own content, then I have to get the embed code as well. So what I do is click as usual, assign, then assign it to the class, okay, and what you want to do is get the embed code to put it into your Thinglink, okay? So you're going to go to share assignment, and it's this one you want, this embed code. Copy code, and then put that code directly into your Thinglink, just like we did before. So add content from website, embed, and straight away your Edpuzzle comes up here. So you could put in any tag that you like there, so any icon you like. Now my Edpuzzle's gone in. So the students don't actually have to leave the room in order to figure out the clues. So you can put them all over the place really so that they actually have to move around the room to find what they're doing. Another one we might use is YouTube. Now again, it's not good enough just to take the YouTube URL. So you would have to go into YouTube and find the embed code here. So usually it's going to be underneath the share button. So once you've clicked embed on the YouTube video, it will give you this code here. You just click copy, then go back to your Thinglink. Again, you are adding content from the website. So again, and as you can see, this is just a writing video that I have on YouTube. And whatever icon you want, put it into the room. And again, the students might need to answer questions at the end of the video or find a line in the video that will help them solve their clue. The next part then is really fun. I love it, and it's called Jigsaw Planet. So what you do with this is you find any image that you want, and then what I tend to do is I tend to put that image onto, say, a Google slide, and then I'll just say insert a question with a text box. So I'll do something like, how do we know if the writer has made an impact on the audience? And then you might want to make your text box a little bit bigger, and your writing and the background and things like that. So we'll say 30. We'll give a color to the text box and say pink. Okay, and then I generally use a screenshot for this. So I'm going to screenshot this image, or you can just save the image to your desktop. And then it asks you to choose a file. So you'll go to wherever your files are and upload the image. Give it a name, so it could be clue number 3. And you can make this as difficult or as easy as you like. So we generally use 35 because it doesn't take that long. But if you want to give them something long, you can make it as difficult as you want. Then you click create. So once you've clicked create, Jigsaw Puzzle or jigsawplanet.com will give you the scrambled up jigsaw. And what you're going to want to do then is you're going to click share, and you're looking for, again, the embed code. So you just put your clues into the image and then they'll scramble it up for you. Now when you go on, you'll find that there's a lot of codes here. You want the very last one, so you simply copy that code and you bring it into your Thinglink, add content from website, and the jigsaw will come up here, and then they will be able to start solving the jigsaw right within the escape room itself. So these are just a couple of the different ways you can embed clues into your jigsaw or into your escape room. Another clue I like to give is like a compass clue, like directions, so that their answers are purely given north, south, east, or west within their form. And so I've made this on a slide, and I just published that slide to the web and went in. So I didn't tell them they had to choose north, south, east, or west, but I did put the clue in here where it says direction. So on this one, they read the passage and they decide what type of text it is. So if it's problem solution, then the answer to the first part of their answer will be N because it's north. So these are just some of the clues that you can use within your escape room, and they use basically a lot of the third-party apps that we will be using anyway. You can look through this escape room and find out all the different types of clues that we used, but there are loads available online, and they're very basic. They're just Google Forms, but what they do is give you ideas and they give you the clues, so you might just need to build the escape room. So the next thing to do then is to build your site and create your stories. A really big part of making your escape room effective and getting the kids hooked into it is to create a little narrative. So That's why we say to use Google Sites to publish your escape room. So in this one, I've created a little narrative that says that their English teachers have been captured and they need to solve all the clues to get the keys to get them out. So whatever you want your narrative to be, just make sure that it's engaging. So in order to give the students all of this, you're going to need to go and create a Google site. So what I'm going to show you now is how to embed your Thinglink into your Google site. Google provides you with many different themes and you can choose them all here and decide on your site yourself. You choose what images to put in, etc. But what you're looking for is this here. This is how you put your escape room in. So you go to your Thinglink, you press done, and you click on the share button. So you're looking for the embed code. We click that code, go to our Google site, and go to embed. So the important part is when you go to embed code here on Google Sites is that you actually click the embed part and not the URL. So once I've gone to Thinglink and I've gotten this embed codes, I'm going back to my site, put it in here, click next, and it will turn up on your site. Now it'll come up a little bit small, so you may need to expand it. So once you click insert, you'll see, here's my escape room here. So you want to make it bigger, you want it to be a little bit more visible on the page. And then that's directly onto your Google site. Now earlier on we were talking about the form and how to create your clues. So just a couple of things when you create the form, make sure you hit settings and have it collect the email addresses of all your students. And if you want to embed your form directly into Thinglink, once you go to send, you make sure to click the embed code and not the copy code. So if you want to add your form then directly into your Google site, you can do so, or you can put it into the Thinglink by what I just said with embed in the code. If you want to add the form, you can go across here to the options that Google Sites offers you and search for your form. So my form that I was working with today was untitled, but you can add any of the forms that you have there available to you. So here's the one I was working with earlier. I'm going to put that in and you can see it comes up directly here. So any other clues you want to put in here? Again, this is mainly about writing the narrative of your escape room, giving the students something to work towards. So they're not just going through a list of clues for no reason. So they could be trying to save somebody, they could be locked in a burning building, whatever is relevant to your lesson. So once your site is ready to go, then all you have to do is publish it. If you want to add other teachers to your site, etc., you just click the share with others button here, and then they'll be able to edit that site with you. So once it's ready to go, you can click publish and it asks you to give a web address. So I'm just going to say practice. And then it says publish. And then the link you're going to give to your students is this one here. So you can copy your link and then you could put that maybe into your Thinglink schedule for the week if you've decided to start using Thinglinks for your weekly schedules, or you can just send that site to your students directly. So for us, it was in our schedule a couple of weeks ago to start putting in escape rooms, and you can just take a look at it here. So they have a little beating heart and it takes them directly to our Google site. And that's pretty much it for our escape rooms. So just a brief recap on today's objectives, which were to get an understanding of digital escape rooms and their place in the classroom. So I'm hoping that you guys got a little bit of an idea of how they can help within your classroom. Then we were looking to get some skills on how to apply them within the classroom. So again, by using all the different tools that I gave you today, then hopefully you'll be able to apply them to your own classroom setting. And then we had a look at the different examples of third-party applications that you can use within your own escape room. If you're still a little bit unsure or you have any questions, then you can just email me at this link and I'd be happy to send you a PDF version, and that contains some links to already made escape rooms that you might try yourself turning into virtual reality. Thanks so much for watching, and we really hope that this was helpful to you.